Hey everybody. See that whining girl over there in the school bathroom? Yeah, that's me. My name is July, like the summer month. The hottest, brightest, sunniest, which doesn't fit in with my gray looks. Look at all these pics. Why am I crying, you may ask? Because two of the school's top hotties, Kyle and Ronnie, got through because of me. They are the best of friends and stars of the school. Both tall, one a searing brunette, the other blonde. Both from well-to-do families with irresistible smiles and perfect hair. Kyle and Ronnie had never paid attention to me before, though I, like any other girl, had dreamed of it. They were more interested in girls at their level and above. Girls like Jessica were a bitch, always chewing gum and sticking it under my desk as she walked by. The teacher always thought I did it and made me tear them off after class. Ugh, gross. At the time, I had no idea that Kyle and Ronnie would not only run after me, but even fight. A few days ago, I was walking to school that day, working on my tablet as usual on the way. Oh yeah, I forgot to tell you, I created an in-school women's chat room. This chat room was for girls only. There was strict identification, face ID, and a tied phone number. None of the boys, no matter how hard they tried, could register under someone else's nickname or someone else's data for girls outside of school. I came up with it myself and developed it too. The goal was just to gossip. I was there as a gray cardinal. No one knew it was my app. I watched everything and saw everything behind the scenes. In the meantime, my app became more popular, and I made a lot of money off of it. It was a chat room called Soapbox. It was called that because it discussed sometimes slippery topics, like soap. And naturally, it was to everyone's advantage to keep the information private. The middle and high school classes had access. Most of the chatting there was about guys. From the chat room, I found out who was dating who was cheating on who. There was no war, just sometimes, and mostly useful data, and some empty blah 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 blah. I walked into school and dropped my tablet unintentionally. It fell right at Kyle's feet. He picked it up and immediately handed it to me.
Are you okay?
Are you asking me?
Yeah, you. Who else?
I'm fine, thanks. For the first time, he spoke to me. It was weird, but exciting. That same day, I went to the cafeteria, where I usually ate lunch alone. A juice bag fell off my tray and Ronnie picked it up. He said my clumsiness was actually endearing. I blushed. The girls in the chat room began to discuss these moments online. They wrote that our stars looked at a mouse. I was used to that, so I didn't pay attention. When I came out of school, it was raining. Some creep drove a wheelbarrow in such a way that it threw water all over me. Ronnie stopped and offered me a ride. I didn't want to, but he insisted. On the way, he was singing along to songs and laughing. I sat there like I was in the electric chair, wondering if my breath stank, afraid I might fart. Ronnie said goodbye to me. I went home and Googled what it all meant. A search query gave me one thing. Your partner is showing you signs of attention. Oh crap, I thought. Why would he do that? But nothing came to mind. So the next morning, I put on a dress and makeup and let my hair down. I just wanted to do it. Upon my arrival at school, the chat room came alive again. The activity was multiplied, and there was mouse, mouse, mouse all over it. Well, that was all about me. I closed my tablet and crashed my face into Kyle's hard, pumped chest. He said,
"Oh crap, sorry I didn't recognize you. You look amazing today."
And he walked away. Ronnie came up behind me and was like,
"Oh, Summer's coming to school."
And I was like, what the But I didn't finish. I pulled myself together and said, "Hey, Ronnie." He took off my heavy backpack and asked me to walk him to class.
Wow, something is beeping in your bag. Apparently you have a lot of fans.
No, not at all.
Okay, meet me after class at the gate. I'll take you home.
What? But he didn't answer and ran away. After school, I went to the gate, where Ronnie was standing by his car. God, what a crush. All the girls were whispering and squinting. I straightened up and walked more confidently. But just as I was about to get in his car, Kyle showed up.
"Hey, gorgeous, want to ride in mine?"
What?
"Hey, she's with me."
What do you mean, with you? I mean, with him. I mean, I'm not with anybody.
"Hey, brother, you're making the wrong move. Are you threatening me?"
They bumped into each other, and all I had time to do was yell for them to stop. The bus came, and I took it, and it went on like that every day. These boys were hanging around me, complimenting me, and I was avoiding them. Until one day, outside the ladies' room, I heard them arguing. I stood outside the door and listened to them arguing about who was going to take care of me. I opened the door and saw Kyle punch Ronnie in the face. He flew to the floor, and then Kyle pounced on him. I ran out of the bathroom and started to stop them. Ronnie stood up and asked who I was going to choose. What do you mean, choose? I can't pick like that. What does that even mean? And Kyle just exploded.
I can't do this anymore. Don't you see how you're torturing us? Don't you understand how we feel? We can't do this anymore. Just choose.
I could feel my stomach bubbling with nerves. Crap, just don't fart, I thought to myself. Confused, I ran into the bathroom and sat on the floor, crying. I didn't understand why this was happening. Had they fallen in love with me? But why? I went into the chat room and saw the girls writing that I was cold-blooded, that the boys really felt something for me, and that I had to make a choice. She turned out to be a real piece of work.
Have you noticed how she's changed? She looks prettier.
How did she manage to make them fall in love with her? They wrote. 10 minutes later, someone knocked on the door. It was Ronnie. He came in with words of apology, and in his hands, he held a huge bouquet of flowers.
These are for you. Sorry about the circus. I didn't see it coming.
I asked if he regretted fighting with his best friend, to which he replied that he was choosing love.
You have to agree, after saying that, anyone would lose their head.
The choice happened on its own. Ronnie kissed me. It was my first kiss ever,
and we started dating. My boyfriend invited me for a drive around town, and in the evening, he promised me dinner. He gave me a ride to the right place and left. It wasn't until a couple of hours later that I realized I'd left my bag in his car. He wrote that he would bring it with to the restaurant. He wrote down the address and table number. During the day, I took off my braces, put on my lenses, and went to the beauty salon, where I was released beautiful in a fancy dress and shoes. I went to the restaurant and got so much attention. My head was spinning. I sat down and ordered water. So an hour went by, then a second hour. I called Ronnie, but he didn't answer. I wrote to him, and he didn't even read my messages. What happened? I asked myself. Then I opened the soapbox on my smartphone, and tears gushed from my eyes. The girls were chatting about how Ronnie and Kyle were having a fancy party at a mansion, and that they'd invited all the girls. They chatted about pictures of Kyle and Ronnie dancing with one or the other. And the girls were texting. I guess they came to their senses.
They finally made up. Where's the mouse?
Who knows? Maybe she's in the bathroom crying again. Who cares? She's not even in our chat room, so why ask about her?
Finally, the boys are ours. By the way, how did they know that we like to drink and eat, and that we have long dreamed of such a party?
They must have read our minds. That's cool.
What was I thinking? What the hell? My tablet! The puzzle came together. I began to remember all those moments when they took turns trying to carry my bag, asking who was texting me and prying into my tablet. So I went to that party. My arrival was unexpected. Everyone was freaked out by my chic look, and Ronnie and Kyle seemed to be expecting it.
Wow, you're a hottie. Sorry, I guess I'm late for the restaurant.
Fuck you. Where's my tablet?
Which one? We didn't see anything.
I grabbed a golf club off the table and aimed it at a picture on the wall.
No, it's expensive. My dad will kill me. Where's my tablet? There it is.
I grabbed the tablet and saw that they'd cracked the PIN code.
Bastards! You used me for a soapbox? How do you know about the soapbox?
The truth came out. After the girls found out that I was the owner and creator, they removed it and stopped paying. And the worst part was that Kyle and Ronnie got away with it. I was no longer a consideration again, but I didn't give up. Already today, I've launched another app. It's called Cash. It works on the principle of a discount on all dating services. But what guys don't know yet is that I will take all their money from their accounts the first time they link to a card.
Well, hello everyone. My name is Barbie. Yeah, don't laugh, but my mom really likes that name. And she called me that for a reason. She wanted me to be born the most beautiful girl in the world. And you know what? I was born only the most ugliest girl in the world. Now I'll tell you what and how. In the meantime, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and watch on. To begin with, I will tell you about my family. I have beautiful parents. Yes, this is really true. My father and mother are very tall. They are both burning dark with milk light skin. They both have big eyes, gorgeous hair, a figure, and great taste in clothes and music. By the way, yes, they met at work. Both worked as models for one popular fashion designer at the time. They were leading among all colleagues, so their pair was created quickly and expectedly. My mom's name is Gwen, and my dad's name is Dylan. They both built a modeling career, but when it came to retire due to age, they decided to get married, but managed to open their own modeling agency. Business was going well because they managed to make a name for themselves. Their fame went far beyond the country, and many girls and boys sought to get into their school to learn and get to the top designers at the most luxury shows and private parties. What can I say? You cannot forbid to live beautifully. And then my mom got pregnant with me. They were expecting a child because they were already ready, because dad and mom had had enough time to travel, make a fortune, accumulate capital, and only the child remained. Mom told me that when they found out they were having a girl, my mom was just overjoyed because she had dreamed that they would have a beauty of a daughter who will conquer the world and will eclipse all the beauty and will tell people whose kid she is. So I will continue to thank my parents and make them even more famous. She and father made repairs at home, lovers of aesthetics did everything to make everything look as beautiful as possible without frills, and so that you can take a picture at any time and it was beautiful. And then my birthday came. My mother immediately christened me by the name of Barbie. For some reason, she was sure that I would look like a doll. I would have huge eyes, long eyelashes, plump lips, and to her great regret, I was born red, wrinkled, and dissatisfied. She was even upset for a second, so my father said he was present at the birth, but the doctors calmed her down, said that that's what all children look like after birth. When we were discharged home, I still looked like a boiled cancer. A month passed, 2, 5, and I still looked like the first day of my life. My hair didn't grow well, and I was bald for almost a year. The more I grew up, the more disappointed my mother became. My father reassured her. Like, it's our daughter and all that. The main thing is that our daughter is healthy. My mother also deceived herself, but in the end, the lie made itself felt. The press took pictures and everyone wrote about the ugly duckling. That is, me. My parents were upset about it, even though they didn't show it. I was not taken to more than one celebration. Always left at home with a nanny, I was not shown publicly in the light, only if by chance someone did notice. I felt all this. Just did not realize until the end. When I grew up even more and I was 16 years old, we moved to another city. I was sent to a school where I was still the ugliest girl in the class. As soon as they saw me, they all laughed, and when they heard my name, they laughed even harder. Where is it seen that Barbie was full, like me, with narrow eyes, a big nose, thin lips, all closed in on herself, complexed and hunched? And I was just like that. Every day was like a test for me. I hated myself, my reflection in the mirror, my voice, my manners, everything, and I couldn't talk about it with anyone. That's how I lived until I met someone. And so I turned 17. My class and I were going to go to another school for a math competition. I didn't participate. I just had to hold a poster as support. And when I stood in the middle of the hall to pick up the poster, one of the guys from another school pushed me. I fell and the poster broke under me. He shouted loudly that the paper couldn't support my weight, and everyone laughed. I cried and ran to the bathroom. I didn't want to live, but suddenly, someone knocked on the booth where I was crying. It was a guy. I shooed him away, reminding him that it was a woman's bathroom, but he didn't leave. I went out to him and he apologized for his classmate. He was a handsome guy with a gorgeous smile. I thought he wanted to laugh, but no, he asked me out. Can you imagine? I couldn't believe it myself, but he actually invited me as a girl and we started dating. Our relationship gave me motivation. I became more confident. I know people said, why did he choose me and what did he find attractive about me? But Sam, that was his name, said that he was happy and interested in me. Even my mother was surprised by our relationship. But the funny thing is, he didn't know who my parents were. This added to my confidence in his sincerity. We had dated for 6 months. It was a happy time. We walked everywhere, took pictures, he took me to restaurants. We talked for hours on the phone and during walks. Sam was wonderful. And then, unbeknownst to me, he started taking me shopping. I didn't like this business. I could never find my own clothes. But he insisted. He put expensive clothes on me, bought them for me, but I didn't have the courage to wear them. One night before I went to bed, I was determined to take care of myself. So I told Sam and he helped me. I went on a diet and started exercising at home. Every time I wanted to give up, he encouraged me. It was important. I lost weight every month, and every month we went shopping again, where he showed clearly how much I had changed. After 8 months, I went to a beauty salon, where I was given a fashionable hairstyle, haircut, coloring, taught to do makeup, and I came out a different person. Looking at myself in the mirror, I realized that I was now living up to my name. That's what faith in a person does. Even my mother couldn't help me as much as Sam. I was happy. I proudly held hands with him and we went to the prom together. I was like a queen, fit, beautiful, and confident. Since then, I've never let anyone trample me in the mud. I realized that if you don't love yourself, how can anyone respect you? Do you guys agree with me? Write your opinion in the comments. In the comments.